Hello, thank you for joining me. We're carrying on with our walk along the Rodwell Trail, the old railway line from Weymouth to Easton in Portland. You can see we've climbed a fair bit above the town because we were down at the marina, which you can just see down there. So we've now come up a fair way. I think in steam days this would have been quite a sight seeing a steam loco working up here, making quite a lot of noise because we've been gradually climbing. I'm not sure what the actual grading is. I don't know if anyone does know, wants to comment and tell me. So we've sort of come, our last video we were at Westerham Holt was where we actually finished our last video. We're now coming through quite a pleasant bit. It's obviously there wouldn't have been trees, but on a hot day like today the trees are actually doing a good thing there, making it a bit cooler because it is quite hot today. So we're just following the Rodwell Trail, and as you can see we are now coming up to Rodwell Tunnel. It's not a long tunnel, but it is the only tunnel, I think, certainly the only tunnel on the mainland side. Once you get onto the Isle of Portland, I'm not sure, there might be another one. If anyone knows, please comment and tell me. I would like to cover the Portland railways in the future, but I can't say when it'll be. It probably won't be just yet, but there's some fascinating old railways on Portland. So here's the tunnel. You can see it's a double track width tunnel, so we're going to wander through. I shouldn't have any problems with wind because on the last video it was a bit windy and I haven't got a microphone with me today. So we're just coming in to the tunnel. Take my sunglasses off just while we're inside. It looks like the tunnel's been sort of sprayed with concrete, perhaps to keep it, must help just preserve it, I suppose. So we're still gradually climbing. Now on the other side of the tunnel is the former Rodwell station. So anyway, as I was saying, I would like to do some more railways of Portland because there's lots of quarries. So there were some very early railways going back to the 1820s. The first railways were mooted, and there's this incline railway which would be really nice to do. Sunglasses back on as we're out in the bright sun again. So there you go, there's the other end of the short Rodwell tunnel. So we will do Portland at some point in the future, but it might not be this year, it might be in a future year. But it's a lovely place, the Isle of Portland. A lot of stone, all the stone on St Paul's Cathedral in London came from Portland. So you think about it, some of that stone from St Paul's, it wouldn't probably come along here because the railway wouldn't have been there then, but it would have come around this. It probably actually went by sea and along up the Thames, I suppose, but that's where it came from. So here we are, Rodwell Station, a station which served the suburb of Weymouth, where this former railway now as a trail takes its name. I think what we'll do is, it's a bit quiet, let's go up on the actual platform. So it looks like there was two platforms the trains could have passed it. I'm not entirely sure if it was double track all the way, because the last station I think seemed to have double track width, although maybe it was just a single platform. But here, this was certainly a passing place. You can see it's a well-used cycle trail. It's actually also part of the coastal path, which again, I've said this before in other videos where we've been down by the sea. Coastal path is something I'd like to do, but it's not a question of if, it's a question of when. As I said in the last video, we were at kilometre post 1 or 0. We're now at kilometre post 1000. I did take a picture of kilometre post 500 back there, so we are, well, I don't really do metric, but we are a kilometre away from the last station on the branch. So we're just coming along here. So we are in a fairly deep cutting, but it's quite pleasant on a warm day like today. Get away from the hot weather really. It's nice and cool down here, and it's nice to imagine how it would have been. In fact, if you ever look there, that's probably where the signal box must have stood, because I'm sorry, the glare of sun, you can actually see the hole under the platform. So the signal box would have been there. So the wires from the signal into the points would run along the edges of the platforms. So I think the line was probably single track, but it was had a passing place here, and it was obviously on quite a gradient, so it must have been good watching train restart. I think what they had done is here, it's a shame, they'd put a replica station sign, but unfortunately the more feeble-minded members of society have decided to break it, which is a real shame. But other than that, it's a really nice place. unfortunately you just get those kind of people wherever you go, it seems. So, from the former station at Rodwell, thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.